I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jake. And today, we're talking about something that many people think about, but often misunderstand.
Becoming the best version of yourself.
It sounds inspiring, doesn't it?
It does.
But it can also sound exhausting sometimes.
That's true.
Because when people hear become the best version of yourself, they often imagine perfection.
A perfect body.
A perfect career.
A perfect routine.
A perfect life.
But maybe becoming your best self has nothing to do with becoming perfect.
I actually think that's where many people get stuck.
Me too.
They spend so much time chasing an ideal version of themselves.
That they forget to appreciate who they already are.
And before we begin today's conversation, let's ask our listeners something.
Have you ever felt like you're not where you're supposed to be in life?
Maybe you're working toward a goal.
Learning English.
Building confidence.
Creating healthier habits.
Creating healthier habits.
But sometimes it feels like you're moving too slowly.
If you've ever felt that way, you're definitely not alone.
In fact, I think almost everyone feels that way sometimes.
Especially in modern life.
Because we're constantly surrounded by examples of success.
People achieving things.
Building businesses.
Traveling the world.
Reaching goals.
And it becomes easy to believe everyone else is moving faster than we are.
Which brings us to an important question. What does becoming your best self actually mean?
That's a great question.
Because I don't think it means becoming someone else.
Definitely not.
I think it means becoming more fully yourself.
That's beautifully said.
Becoming more confident.
More self-aware.
More resilient.
More kind.
More intentional.
Intentional is a wonderful word.
Yes, intentional means acting with purpose instead of simply reacting automatically.
For example, I want to live more intentionally.
Or, intentional habits create meaningful change.
Another thing I've noticed is that people often underestimate small improvements.
Definitely.
Everyone wants dramatic transformation.
Big results.
Fast success.
Immediate confidence.
But real growth usually happens quietly.
Day by day.
Habit by habit.
Decision by decision.
Sometimes the biggest changes are almost invisible at first.
Like learning English.
Exactly.
One day of practice doesn't feel life-changing.
Neither does 1 week.
But after months of consistency,
Everything starts to feel different.
Confidence grows.
Skills improve.
Possibilities expand.
Growth is often slow while it's happening.
But obvious when we look back.
That's such an important lesson.
Another thing that prevents people from becoming their best selves is comparison.
Ah, yes.
We just talked about comparison in our previous episode.
And it connects perfectly to today's topic.
Because when people compare themselves constantly,
They stop focusing on their own journey.
instead of asking, how can I improve?
They ask, why am I not as successful as them?
Which often creates discouragement.
Discouragement is an important emotional word.
Discouragement means losing confidence or motivation because something feels difficult.
For example, constant comparison creates discouragement.
Or small progress can reduce discouragement.
Another thing I find interesting is that many people believe confidence comes first,
Before action.
before growth.
Before change.
But honestly, I think confidence often comes later,
After action.
after effort,
After experience.
after making mistakes and surviving them.
That's so true.
Many people wait until they feel ready.
But growth usually begins before readiness.
Let me ask our listeners something.
Go ahead.
Is there something you've wanted to do for a long time?
But you've been waiting until you feel more confident?
Maybe speaking English.
Maybe starting a project.
Maybe meeting new people.
Maybe changing your life in some way.
Think about that for a moment.
Because sometimes confidence is the result of action.
Not the requirement for action.
Another thing that helps people grow is self-awareness.
Definitely.
Self-awareness means understanding your thoughts, emotions, strengths, and weaknesses.
And honestly, self-awareness isn't always comfortable.
That's true.
Sometimes we discover habits we'd like to change,
Patterns that hold us back.
fears we've been avoiding.
Limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs are another important concept.
A limiting belief is an idea that convinces you that you can't grow, improve, or succeed.
For example, I'm too old.
I'm not talented enough.
I'll probably fail anyway.
Many people carry these beliefs for years without questioning them.
But becoming your best self often begins by challenging those beliefs.
Asking, is this really true?
Or, have I simply repeated this story so many times that I've started believing it?
That's a powerful question.
And maybe one of the most important parts of personal growth is realizing that who you are today is not necessarily who you'll be tomorrow.
One thing I've noticed about personal growth is that people often imagine it as a straight line.
That's true. Many people think they'll make one important decision, build a few good habits, and then everything will improve smoothly from that point forward.
But real growth rarely works that way.
Definitely not. Some weeks feel amazing because you're motivated, focused, and making progress. Then suddenly life becomes stressful again. Your energy drops, and old habits begin to return.
And that's usually the moment when people become discouraged.
Exactly. They start believing they're failing when, in reality, they're simply experiencing a normal part of the growth process.
That's such an important point.
It really is. Every meaningful journey includes setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. Those difficult periods don't erase your progress. They're actually part of how growth happens.
I think social media sometimes makes people forget that.
Absolutely. We often see the successful chapter of someone's story without seeing all the difficult chapters that came before it.
We see the result.
But we don't see the years of effort, mistakes, failures, and persistence behind that result.
That's why comparison can be so misleading.
Exactly. We compare our everyday reality to someone else's highlight reel.
Another thing many people misunderstand is motivation.
Ah, yes. Motivation is wonderful when it's there, but it's not something we can depend on every day.
That's so true.
Some mornings you wake up feeling excited and ready to work toward your goals. Other mornings you feel tired, distracted, or completely unmotivated.
And that's normal.
Very normal. The people who grow the most are usually not the people who feel motivated all the time. They're the people who continue even when motivation disappears.
In other words, consistency matters more than motivation.
Exactly. Small actions repeated consistently often create bigger results than occasional bursts of intense effort.
Let me ask our listeners something.
Go ahead.
Is there one habit you've always wanted to build but never fully committed to?
Maybe you've wanted to practice English every day, exercise regularly, read more books, or spend less time on your phone.
Think about that habit for a moment.
Because your future is often shaped by the small things you repeat every day.
Not by the things you do once in a while.
Another important part of becoming your best self is learning patience.
Patience has become surprisingly difficult in modern life.
Definitely. We live in a world where everything feels instant. We can get information, entertainment, and communication almost immediately.
Which makes slow progress feel frustrating sometimes.
But many of the most valuable things in life require time. Confidence takes time, trust takes time, strong relationships take time, learning a language takes time.
And personal growth takes time too.
Exactly. Sometimes people become impatient because they can't see results yet.
But growth is often happening beneath the surface.
That's a beautiful way to describe it.
Just like a tree grows roots before it grows taller, people often develop strength internally before external results become visible.
I love that comparison.
Another thing I've noticed is that personal growth often begins with honesty.
Honesty with yourself.
Exactly.
Honest about your habits, your fears, your strengths, and the areas where you still want to improve.
That kind of honesty can feel uncomfortable sometimes.
It can. But avoiding reality never creates change. Growth begins when we're willing to look at ourselves honestly and say, this is where I am right now.
Without judgment.
That's important.
Because many people confuse self-awareness with self-criticism.
That's such a good point. Self-awareness helps you understand yourself better. Self-criticism simply makes you feel worse.
And unfortunately, many people are much harder on themselves than they would ever be on a friend.
Have you ever noticed that?
Definitely.
Someone makes a mistake and immediately starts telling themselves they're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough.
Yet, if a friend made the exact same mistake, they'd probably respond with kindness and encouragement.
That's why self-compassion is such an important part of growth.
Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same understanding and patience that you would offer to someone you care about.
For example, I'm learning and it's okay to make mistakes.
Or, I don't need to be perfect to keep moving forward.
Another challenge many people face is perfectionism.
Ah, yes, the belief that everything must be perfect before we begin.
The perfect plan.
The perfect timing.
The perfect opportunity.
The perfect version of ourselves.
But perfectionism often becomes a form of procrastination.
Because people spend years waiting for the perfect moment instead of taking action.
And the truth is that growth almost always looks messy in the beginning.
New habits feel uncomfortable.
New skills feel difficult.
New challenges feel intimidating.
But that's completely normal.
Another thing that helps people become their best selves is spending time around the right people.
That's a huge factor.
The people around us influence our mindset more than we realize.
Supportive people encourage growth. They inspire us, challenge us, and remind us of what's possible.
While negative environments can make even simple growth feel difficult.
That's why community matters so much.
And honestly, that's one of the reasons we love creating these conversations.
Because personal growth doesn't have to be a lonely journey.
We're all learning together.
We're all growing at different speeds.
We're all trying to become slightly better than we were yesterday.
And actually, before we continue, pause for a moment and think about this.
Are you the same person you were 1 year ago?
Probably not.
You've learned new things.
You've survived difficult moments.
You've gained experiences.
You've grown in ways you may not even recognize yet.
Which means progress is already happening.
Even if it feels slower than you'd like.
And maybe one of the most encouraging truths about becoming your best self is this.
You don't need to change your entire life overnight. Sometimes one small decision repeated consistently can begin changing everything.
We've talked about growth, patience, self-awareness, consistency, and the challenges that come with becoming the best version of yourself.
And I think we've discovered something important along the way.
What's that?
Becoming your best self is not really about achieving a final destination.
That's interesting.
Many people imagine that one day they'll finally arrive. They'll become confident enough, successful enough, disciplined enough, and then everything will feel complete.
But life doesn't really work that way.
Not usually.
Growth is ongoing.
Exactly. Every stage of life teaches us something new. Every challenge helps us develop a different part of ourselves.
Which means becoming your best self is less about reaching perfection and more about continuing to grow.
I love that perspective.
Me too.
Another thing people often realize later in life is that growth is not always visible.
That's very true.
Sometimes you're becoming stronger emotionally without realizing it.
Sometimes you're becoming more patient,
More resilient.
more understanding.
More confident.
And those changes can be difficult to measure.
But they're incredibly valuable.
Let me ask you something, Jake.
Sure.
If someone listening today feels stuck, what would you tell them?
I would tell them something simple.
What is it?
Don't judge your entire journey based on your current chapter.
Wow.
Because sometimes people experience a difficult season of life and assume that's how the rest of their story will look.
That's such an important reminder.
A difficult chapter does not mean you're failing.
It doesn't mean you're broken.
And it certainly doesn't mean you've stopped growing.
Sometimes growth is happening during the very moments when we feel the most uncertain.
Definitely.
Another thing I've noticed is that many people are constantly trying to become someone else.
That's true.
They admire another person's confidence,
Another person's success.
another person's lifestyle,
Another person's personality.
and they begin believing they need to become that person.
But maybe that's not the goal.
Exactly.
Maybe the goal isn't becoming someone else. Maybe the goal is becoming more fully yourself.
That's a beautiful distinction.
The world doesn't need another copy of someone else.
It needs the best version of you,
Your strengths,
your experiences,
your perspective.
your voice.
Another thing that helps people grow is focusing on progress instead of perfection.
Definitely.
Because perfection is impossible.
But progress is available every day.
Even small progress matters.
Reading one chapter matters.
Practicing English for 10 minutes matters.
Having one difficult conversation matters.
Taking one small step matters.
Small actions may seem insignificant in the moment.
But over time, they create remarkable change.
That's how confidence grows.
That's how skills develop.
That's how lives change, gradually.
Another thing I think people need to hear is that rest is also part of growth.
That's such a good point.
Modern culture often celebrates constant productivity,
Always working,
always improving,
always achieving.
always achieving.
But human beings aren't machines. We need rest,
Reflection,
recovery.
balance.
Sometimes taking care of yourself is one of the most productive things you can do.
Absolutely.
Another important lesson is learning to trust yourself.
Trusting yourself changes everything.
It means believing that you can handle challenges,
Believing that you can learn from mistakes.
believing that you can adapt when life changes,
And honestly, self-trust is built the same way confidence is built.
through experience,
Through action.
through keeping promises to yourself.
Even small promises.
Another thing I love about personal growth is that it creates possibility.
What do you mean?
Well, every skill you learn opens new doors.
That's true.
Every healthy habit creates new opportunities.
Every challenge you overcome expands what you believe is possible.
The person you become changes the life you can create.
That's a powerful idea.
And maybe that's why growth matters so much.
Not because we need to become perfect.
But because we deserve the chance to discover our potential.
I love that.
Me too.
Before we finish, let's ask our listeners a few questions.
If possible, try answering them out loud.
First question.
What does becoming your best self mean to you?
Second question.
What habit would you like to improve this year?
Third question.
What challenge has helped you grow the most?
Fourth question.
What limiting belief would you like to leave behind?
And fifth question.
What is one small step you can take this week toward becoming the person you want to be?
Try using some of the sentence patterns we practiced today.
For example,
I'm trying to become more blank.
or,
One habit I'd like to build is blank.
or,
I'm making progress by blank. Speaking out loud is a wonderful way to improve your English fluency, while also reflecting on your own life.
Before we finish today's conversation, let's quickly review what we've discussed.
We talked about self-awareness, consistency, patience, resilience, confidence, habits, self-compassion, and personal growth.
We explored why becoming your best self is not about perfection, but about progress.
We learned useful vocabulary and natural English expressions related to growth, mindset, and self-improvement.
Most importantly, we talked about something that every person experiences.
The desire to become better.
And maybe one of the biggest lessons from today's conversation is this.
You do not need to transform your life overnight.
You do not need to become perfect.
You do not need to have everything figured out.
You simply need to keep moving forward.
One step,
One habit.
one day at a time.
Because becoming the best version of yourself is not a single moment.
It's a lifelong journey.
And the beautiful thing is that you're already on that journey.
Now it's time for our question of the day.
What is one quality you would like to develop in yourself?
More confidence,
More patience?
more discipline,
More kindness?
more kindness.
Write your answer in the comments.
You can begin your sentence like this.
I would like to become more blank. We always enjoy reading your answers.
And it's a wonderful way to practice your English writing skills.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe to Chill English channel.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
Keep learning.
Keep growing.
And remember, learning English is a journey.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you next time.